everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm speaking English because I'm here with my dear friend Cassidy, who I knew during a beautiful experience in New York, as I mentioned in a post that I shared on Instagram. You don't know it, Cassidy, but now you know it. And so I'm very happy to have Cassidy with. Me because we are very far, but we are friends since 2015, so that's a lot of time. And even if we have very different lives because we are doing different things at all, I'm very happy to share a special experience that we shared with you. So Cassidy, do you want to introduce yourself and say something about you?
Sure. Hi everybody, my name is Cassidy Huff, but everybody calls me Cass, as Sophia knows. I am originally from Seattle, Washington, here in the US, but I currently live in Los Angeles, California. I am 19 years old. I am a college student, and I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah. Can I say another thing about you? She's
Sure.
a very good singer.
Oh,
She really sings. I really love your singing voice, and probably they will discover it one day. We don't know.
Well, that's what I'm in school for, so I hope so.
Yeah, as I said at the beginning, I and Cassidy and I. Is it Cassidy and I? Yes, or me and
It would be Cassidy and I. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Shared a beautiful experience because we went to New York because Paul Newman has founded Serious Fun Children's Network, which is Dynamo Camp, Camp Corey, and other camps in the world. There are a lot of camps in America, in the USA, and in my opinion, it has been one of the best experiences of my life because I went to my favorite city and we met a lot of people, famous people. That's really a good thing. That's so funny and so good, but even normal people, let's say, even if I and Cassidy aren't normal because we are special. And I wanted to start because I really remember with joy the day we met. I went to New York a few days before the other people because I had the jet lag problem to solve. But after some days, Cassidy and other fantastic guys came to New York. And I really loved all of them, but I and Cassidy really started to talk until the first second, and we shared really a lot of things. It was one of the first times that I talked all the time in English with people, because if we not include my parents, everyone only spoke English, and so it was very challenging, but I'm so happy because it was really a fantastic experience. I don't know how to describe it because New York is so wonderful, and the reason why we were there really fantastic, and we really shared all the day together with the other people because we had to show people our stories at camp. And Cassidy, I have talked to people about Dynamo Camp, but which camp did you attend, and how the camp changed your life?
Yeah. So I went to Camp Corey, which is in Mount Vernon, Washington. And I went there for 10 or 11 years. I went there for a long time.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a long time. I went there for 10 or 11 years. And then I also went to, oh my gosh. I went to the Panda Turtle Camp as well. So, sorry, it's early. It's early over here. Yeah, so I went to Painted Turtle as well, and I only went to Painted Turtle, which is here in California, for 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. And I loved both of them. Camp Corey, I obviously went for longer, so I'm a little more biased towards them because I loved it there. That is where I came out of my shell. That is where I learned that I love to sing. That's where I met some of my closest friends that I'm still really good friends with to this day. That's where I have like my best memories. I every single summer looked forward to going to camp. And that was just what I did. I loved it. So I cannot express how much I love camp. So when they asked me to go to New York City, which I've always known that New York City is where my heart is, I'm gonna move there after I'm done with school because I love it. And that's where I need to be for Broadway and stuff like that. So I have to be in New York City. But I knew I was meant to be in New York City when I was 13. So when they asked me, do you want to come to New York City and perform on stage? I was like, yes, of course I do. Oh my God. The whole time I was just so happy to be there. I loved the experience, and both camp and the Serious Fun Network changed my life forever.
Was it the first long travel for you? Because my travel was very long. It took 10 hours from Italy to New York, and there are 6 hours of time zone from Italy to New York. So I remember the first days being like a zombie. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful, but I'm so tired.
You're so tired. You're so tired.
I don't know how to overcome this tiredness.
Do you remember at breakfast you had coffee and you were like sipping down?
Oh yeah,
so fast. The waitress would come by and they'd be like, okay, anything else for you? And you'd be like, yeah, coffee, please.
More coffee in my veins, please.
Yeah, more coffee.
Don't misunderstand my gestures because that's not drugs, but I
get it. It's okay, I understand.
I really needed coffee because I really wanted to enjoy everything about that experience. But let's say that after probably 2 or 3 days, I really felt that I was in the right place and in the right moment, even if the first days have been difficult for me with the language, but then I really started to understand everything and to explain myself in a better way. So it has been a very useful experience because learning English at school is very different from talking with American and English people, and I really liked it. I really love English. Probably that's my favorite language. But when you hear people speaking in English in the best way possible, you are very amazed if you are not English.
I don't get that. I hear people speaking English and I'm like, no. I hear people speak languages like Italian and French and I'm, they're so beautiful. Yeah. But I hear people speaking English and I'm like, no.
You don't like it?
I don't like it. No, I don't think it's a very pretty language.
Probably because that's your mother tongue and you're tired of hearing people speaking English.
It's true.
Oh, yeah. And for me, it was all a new experience because let's start from the breakfast. Italian breakfast is really different from American breakfast. And
Really?
yeah, because we have milk with coffee and biscuits, or hot tea with biscuits or yogurt. Let's say healthy things.
And Americans do not have that.
Healthy.
It's okay. It's okay.
No. I don't want to say that, because probably we eat a lot for lunch and for dinner, but personally at breakfast I really eat a few things because I'm not really hungry. And so trying the American breakfast has been really an experience, and I really love it. And it opened another world for me.
So interesting. I didn't know that. That's so interesting.
And
I wish it was like that, because I don't eat a lot at breakfast either.
probably we are more similar than we think. In the first days, while I was waiting for you to come to New York, I had the opportunity to see a lot of fantastic things, like the Empire State Building. I went to the 102nd floor. That's very high. I couldn't imagine a place so high before that day in my life. It took my breath, and I was a bit scared, but the sightseeing was really fantastic. And then I went to Central Park because I really love nature. I love green, and Central Park is fantastic because
Beautiful.
you see the big city, and then the high buildings, and then all that green around you. That's so strange that you can't imagine it. And then we worked with a lot of famous artists, the musicians of Broadway, and
Yeah, it's true.
a lot of actors, including Danny DeVito, who stayed with us a lot of time, because during the rehearsals, sorry, my tongue is...
It's okay.
He really talked to us a lot, and I really appreciated him.
Yeah.
And the night we made the show, it was so beautiful, because you tell about yourself, about your story, and then there is the music, and then the people around you who looks at you and listens to your words. And that's fantastic, because you realize to be in something very big and very emotional, and it hit my heart in a very deep way. So I'm very happy, and I got to know a lot of people. The other guys were very nice, and sometimes I talk to them. So I wanted to ask you if you can tell me about your favorite things of that experience.
Oh, my favorite things about that trip. I have to think. Well, I loved getting to meet all of the new people. I'm still in contact with a lot of you. So I loved getting to hear everybody's stories, and I loved meal times because we could all like hang out with each other and talk. And it was so cool because not all of us spoke the same language, but all of us connected through music. And I thought that was amazing. Like, there was somebody there from Israel, and he was kind of in the same boat as you, where he was struggling with English a little bit. But we, I think it was Logan, he started playing on the piano, and we all just started singing the same song in English. Like, all of us knew the same words, and they were all in English. Like, not all of us could speak the same language, but it didn't matter because we had music that we could connect to, and we were talking and laughing with each other, and it was just so much fun. And getting to, hear everybody's stories and where they came from throughout the whole world. It was my first experience getting to meet people my age, like kids my age, that came from all over the world.
Oh yeah, I really agree with you. I remember the song in which every one of us sang a sentence in his or her own language. I won't forget that because it was so deep, so meaningful that I really feel the emotions when I think about it. And I really loved when they taught us how to use our voice because I'm very passionate about singing, but I've never attended lessons. I sang in the chorus of my middle school when I was little, but I'm not a professional singer. And so learning to use my voice, even if I have a lot to learn, was really powerful, because now when I sing in the shower, I remember that moment, and so I use my diaphragm and my throat and my lungs how they taught me, and that's fantastic, because really I realized, probably for you that's a banal thing, but I realized that if you use your voice in a bad way, you don't discover what your voice can do. And I keep thinking about a funny moment in which you have been the protagonist, even if I made the mistake during the rehearsals at the Lincoln Center. That's where we made the show. I was talking to Cassidy. I was really sure of myself. I was really sharing something funny, and I really wanted to tell her everything about that thing. I don't remember what. And then I looked at her face, and she was very confused. And I realized that I had talked to you in Italian for 5 minutes straight.
And I didn't want to stop you. You were just going.
You have been so kind because you didn't tell me. And so I activated my brain translator and thought about what I have said and translated it in English. That was so fun.
I remember that. Yeah.
And in my opinion, the most emotional moment has been during the show. We sang a song about I don't remember the name of the singer.
Was it You've Got a Friend by Carole King?
You've Got a Friend, Natalie Cole. Probably.
No, that was by Carole King.
Oh yes, I don't know why Natalie Cole.
Because we did perform that with Natalie Cole.
Oh yeah.
But it's not Natalie Cole's song, but Natalie Cole was on stage when we sang it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
And we had to choose a person between all the guys as a friend for the song, and I chose Cassidy because we bonded a lot during that days, and we hugged for all the song, and all the people was looking at us, and it really was fantastic because I felt an emotion that even if I think about it nowadays, it really makes me not cry, but almost. And I really loved it because that moment for me is like a photograph. It's important to say that every one of us, I'm referring to the guys, had a volunteer from the camp, let's say. My volunteer's name is Sofia. So Sofia and Sofia, and we were
It's very confusing, but we made it work.
Very famous during that days because SNS, Sofia and Sofia, and I really wanted to thank her because without her, probably I wouldn't have enjoyed that experience at all, not because it hasn't been good, but because she really helped me with the language. And when you can talk to people, that's the best way to create boundaries. So
Do you still know her? Do you still keep in contact with her?
yeah, because
Really?
she was with me during my weeks at camp.
I didn't know that.
I was very little, and I really love her a lot. Not only because she has a beautiful name, but because she's so sweet and so calm and so patient that I have a lot of faith in her. And we really shared a lot of experiences. And 2 years before the New York Gala, we went to London together for another gala.
Oh.
We were all Europeans, so we spoke English, but more, let's say, scholastical English. So it was more simple to talk, but I really loved to learn more difficult English. So I'm really happy about that, because I really wanted to come back to the USA, and I have to know English if I want to come back. And
That is true. This is one of the countries where you do have to know the language in order to come here.
yeah.
If I go to when I go, because I told you I'm coming to Italy, right? Next year.
Yeah, for your
Yeah.
graduation travel.
Yeah, for my graduation trip, my sister and I are coming. So I'm gonna come to Italy, and I feel like I don't have to know Italian, or at least a lot of Italian, because
yeah, because
right?
you will learn your essential Italian when you will be here.
Right.
And
Or I'll just call you and be like, help me, I don't know what they're saying here.
and if you listen to people speaking English in Italy, it will be really simple for you to understand, because we really speak very
Like simple English.
basilar, let's say, English, and you hear that we are not English because we don't have the accent, and we are very different at speaking English. And who was your volunteer at New York? Did you know?
I didn't have one.
You were alone.
Only the international kids from other countries get a volunteer because they have to translate. But the kids who go to camps that are in the US don't get a volunteer.
Sorry, so I made a mistake before.
Oh, it's okay.
Because I really remember a lot of people, so I thought every one of us had a volunteer, but that's not true.
Yeah, no, we didn't. I didn't
I'm
get
a liar. I'm a liar. A big
No,
liar.
you're not a liar. You're not a liar. You just didn't know.
And do you want to tell people what you are studying for now? Because it's very related to our show.
I study musical theater, so I am currently majoring in acting, dance, and singing.
And can I make you, let's say, spicy, but not in the spicy way question?
Okay.
What's the one you prefer and the one that's the worst for you?
That's difficult. Well, I came into my school being only a singer. I was only a singer. I wasn't anything else. And then I love to sing, but I think acting is
the best.
Is creeping in there for me right now. And then dance is something I really need to work on. I love dancing. I love to dance, but I just need improvement.
Yeah. but if you really work hard, you can do it, because you really work hard in everything you do. So I'm really sure you will get to dance a lot. But I can relate with what you're saying, because I'm dancing not at your level, because I don't do it every day, but I've done it for a lot of years, and that's very difficult. But
It is.
that's very stimulating, because when you find the way to overcome your limits, that's fantastic. Because in my opinion, art is challenging your limits and overcome them, even if sometimes you can't do it, but that's not a bad thing, because all the people have some limits. And I had another question for you.
Wait, actually, I have a question for you.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember? We were in New York and we were doing like the final rehearsals. So there were a lot of celebrities. There were a lot of famous people. All the kids were there. I was talking to you, and my back. Do you know what story I'm about to tell?
Sorry, can you repeat the last part?
Do you know what story I'm about to tell?
I have to refresh my memory.
Okay, so I was talking to you, and I had my back, like I was facing you, but my back was this way. Oh. And Aloe Black, you know Aloe Black, like the singer, came through the door, and all I saw was you go, and I was like, what? Yes. What? And you were like, turn around. And I was like, why? And you were like, turn around, Cassidy. So I like turned around, and he was like, hi everybody, like what are your guys' names? And I completely forgot my name, and you elbowed me, and you were like, it's Cass, your name is Cass. And I was like, oh, Cass, that is mine. I forgot my name in front of Aloe Black, and you had to help me with my own name.
My name is Cass, but I'm so emotional that I forgot the last part of my name. So
I really was. I was so starstruck that I completely forgot, because he was right behind me. Yeah. And the whole time you're like, turn around. And I was like, why?
But when I see something that I love, I cannot keep it for me. So I start shouting and moving in a random way. So Cassidy, oh my God, he's here, he's famous. I discovered that we shared the birthday.
Oh my gosh.
He's older than me, but it was so...
He's like 40. He's a lot older than you are.
I saw George Clooney. I didn't get to talk with him. And Mary...
He was also so weird. George Clooney was so weird the whole time. I don't know.
I was thinking, so he is true. And I saw Mary Streep, and I told her hi, and it was beautiful because
she had a lot of security around her. We like, she waved at us, but she was far away.
She's a boss, and she's very tall, because I remember I'm on a wheelchair, so I'm not tall, but she's so tall.
She's so tall
and so charismatic. And
Tom Hanks was there too.
Yeah, he made a thing with our moms. My mom was very excited because she loves his films. My parents can't.
Your dad was so happy that he could say hot chocolate by the end of it was so funny. It was so cute. The whole week he was trying to say hot chocolate. That's all he wanted to do. This man's only wish was to order a hot chocolate at breakfast. That was it. That was all he wanted to do. And he did it.
But they really loved it. And I have to say that they really learned something. Random words, but they learned something. And
I think my favorite about your dad was the last breakfast that we all had together. We were going around and we were ordering drinks, and the waitress turns to him and she was like, "What would you like anything, sir?" And he goes, "Hot chocolate." And everybody was like, "Yeah, you did it!"
Oh my God, you're the boss now. You can't.
He was so proud of himself. He was so proud of himself. It was great. I loved it.
And I wanted to ask you, do you think your experience of the show had an impact on your choice to follow the path you are following?
I think so. I really think it did. I always knew that I was going to study something in the performing arts, but I didn't know what that was. And I'd never performed on that big of a stage before. So I was very excited. And I knew that I can't
Don't
make
worry.
it. I knew that was what I was meant to do because of that trip. And I knew that was where I was supposed to live. I've never felt such a connection to city before. I've never felt at home in a place that wasn't home before. And that's how I feel in New York City. I went back a few months ago. I went to New York City again a few months ago, and I still felt the same way.
Oh,
and
yeah, for the marathon, yeah.
For the marathon. I still felt the same way, and I was like, oh, like this is where my heart wants to be. So I knew that. How old was I? I was 13, 12, 13. I think I was about to turn 13.
Yeah.
So I was 12.
Because we went in February and your birthday is in May.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
have a good
you remember. Wow, you're really good at that. So I knew at 12 like that was where I was gonna end up in my career. I was like, oh, this is it. Like this is where I'm meant to be. And I still believe that. I'm in Los Angeles now, but I really want to move to New York City after I graduate school, because I know that's where I'm meant to live and meant to be.
In my opinion, New York is the center of the world.
It is.
It's everything, and that's so beautiful because every corner of the city is different, and I really love it because you see a lot of different people, a lot of different environments
and cultures.
I really feel to be as you said, in the right place, independently of where I am in the city. And it sounds banal, but even when I am in a place that I know, I don't feel always in the right place. So it's a good thing to feel that you are in the right place and with the right people. And I want to ask you, how was it to come back to New York with different people?
Different people, and I was also older. I was also a lot older. Yeah. I was an adult in New York City.
And wiser, yes.
Yeah, I was still performing, so that was something that was not different. But do you know what's crazy? I was there with different people, but I was still there with Serious Fun. I was still there for Camp Corey. Yeah. So I was there with different people, but it was like the same kind of feeling. And I got to see one of my very old, like back when I was really, really young, like I think 7 or 8 years old, I got to see one of my camp counselors from all the way back there. And I hadn't seen him in probably 6 or 7 years. And so I got to see him. So it was like, every time I go to New York City, it always has something to do with Serious Fun. And I love it. So yeah, it was a different experience, but I love that city. Anytime I go to New York City, I'm gonna love it. I was so in love with the city and the people, and I just loved it. It was amazing.
I can imagine. I have a, let's say, particular question for you. Are there limits that you have overcame during that experience?
Oh, are there? Well, I have a fear of flying. I have a fear of planes. I don't know why, but I hate to fly. I hate flying. And I chose the career that is the worst for that, because in my career you have to travel all the time. So I have to fly all the time. It's so scary to me. So I overcame that. I overcame my fear of flying to go to New York City twice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And are you getting used to it?
No, I'm not. I live a long ways away from home. I live like 1,000 miles away from home, 1,200 miles away from home. I don't know what that is.
Can you sleep during the flight?
No, I can't. I get too anxious. I'm too nervous. I have to fly home for holidays and stuff like that. I have to get on a plane and fly back to Seattle. I hate it every time. I can't. I hate it. I hate it so much. So I don't know why. I don't know why I have a fear of flying. Nothing bad has ever happened to me on a plane. I just can't do it.
I was so afraid. It wasn't my first flight, but it was the longest of my life until now.
That's a long time.
And I was so scared because I had the ocean under me.
Oh no.
And that was so funny.
No.
I remember that when I came back to Italy, I had a physical sensation that I can remember very well. I didn't feel my heart, and I cried a lot during the travel because I was overwhelmed for all what happened during that days. But I'm so sad because I really love my life. I have no doubts. But coming back to my routine after leaving something so great is so difficult, and I really had to fight with my emotions. And I think that I learned to let things go, because life has a lot of great things, but you must come back to your routine, and you have to accept it, because your routine is the surest things you have, and you have to leave it, because probably for you that's not you, Cassidy, but you in general, that's not a good thing when you leave it every day. But you can appreciate the surprises of life after leaving the routine. So I'm very lucky for this experience and for people, because now I'm leaving my routine, but I know that you are far, but you are here in this world, and that when I will come to USA, I can find you and other people, and we can be in the same place.
Yes.
So that's fantastic.
And I will see you in a year.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that experience would ever make you want to perform like me?
Oh, that's a good link for my question. Because I have always loved to dance. I have danced a lot of time, and I'm dancing with Kevin now. And so I really love it. But I realized that I love to sing, and I realized how difficult it is to sing, because probably some people think that singing is only using your voice, but it's a matter of body, because your body has to be relaxed but strong, because you sing with your body and your soul.
Yeah.
If you want to sing in a good way. And so I have this question for you. Do you think, now I'm 24, and do you think I'm in time to start singing? Because I really love it.
Sure. Yeah.
I have to build my voice because I honestly don't know how to sing. I'm really thinking about it because singing, in my opinion, is one of the best things.
Yeah, I absolutely think you can be a singer if you want to be a singer. You know, I think that it's never too late to start learning. I don't believe when people say, "Oh, I can't sing," or "Oh, I don't sing." Because everybody sings, and you can be a singer. You just have to exercise. It's like going to the gym, but for your voice. And you have to. It's a muscle, so you have to exercise it. And I think that anybody who wants to can. I don't think that it's one of those things with an age limit. I think that anybody who wants to can sing.
Oh yeah, thank you so much.
Of course.
You relieved me with this answer, because I always think I'm late for things, and
No.
I really wanted to start things, but I'm so insecure sometimes that I don't know if it's good to start one thing or another. I have a technical question about it. Do you think singing when you are sit is very different from singing when you are standing?
That's not a stupid question. Yes, I do think that it is. You're using different techniques when you're sitting versus standing. I have to sit a lot when I sing because my body can't always support me when I stand and sing. So I have to sit a lot and sing, which means that I have to change my technique and the way that I use my voice, versus if I'm standing and using my voice. So yeah, it absolutely is very different. But personally, I think sitting and singing is easier than standing and singing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who disagree with me, but I think that it's easier because I usually sing in my wheelchair. And so that's why it's easier for me, because it's something that my body is familiar with and something that my body is used to. So that's why it's easier for me. Everybody is different though.
Yeah. A lot of people told me that singing when you sit is very difficult. I don't know why, but I can't prove the contrary, so I will try. But thank you, because we have talked about our experience in New York, but I think that we have talked about something important, that is overcoming our limits, and that's an important thing. And because me and a lot of other people feel insecure about what we can do, but we have to be confident and try things before saying that we can't do things. And personally, I'm going to say something that's true, that comes from my heart. You made me reflect about the importance to challenge yourself. It's a part of becoming an adult. So I think I will try myself in a lot of things, normal things and less normal things, let's say. And I hope we will be in the same place very soon. Thank you for all the time you you gave to me.
Yeah, this was fun.
And people, if you have any questions, comments, or other things to share with us, write it in the comments, and we will answer to you, maybe in another video, if it's okay for you, Cassie.
Yeah.
And thank you very much.